I would rather be hated for my truths than loved for my lies. And this speaks to effective and direct communication. Look, there's never been a point or stage in the development of me that I haven't been told that I'm mean, blunt, harsh. And harsh, I can remember that was one of my dad's friends when I was a little kid. It's kind of who I am. I work on it, but there are times that we are who we are for a reason. And there's never been a time that I was honest with somebody, even bluntly honest, that at some point they didn't appreciate it. Now, I'm not saying they loved it right off the bat, but the point is if you are going to have that sort of relationship with somebody on any level, whether it's your homie, whether it's a intimate partner, anything like that, the mailman, you got to be directly honest with them. And sometimes blunt is not maybe our first option, but sometimes it just has to come across that way. And it may also depend on what you are discussing with said person. A lot of times people are making error after error after error, or if they're asking you for your opinion, give it to them, and with the less sugar, the better. If you look at sugar coating, what does it do when we actually intake sugars? It gives us cavities. It gives us, weight gains. It can create diabetic, problems. Like, sugar is not it. So why would we have that sprinkled into our communication? The sugar coating, yeah, I guess there's more diplomatic ways, but to me that becomes where you can work on your vernacular, work on your deliveries, work on your how you want to communicate things, and that way you can become a person of higher value in a non-financial way if you're worried about hurting the people around you. But a lot of times, I think we have to be honest with ourselves that a lot of times people need a direct splash of cold water right in the face that will be that wake up for them and hopefully change the trajectory of whatever it is that they're going through. And a lot of people need that. So we do have to have a balance and maybe just know when we are using what tools to get the point across. What are your thoughts? Is it necessary to have more than one? Because I think a lot of times people don't hear us. It's like having more than one volume. Sometimes you can just say something to somebody, and other times you have to be a lot more emphatic and really drive the point home. So we are creatures of range for a reason, and so I think sometimes using that range is where it's at. And when I say blunt, please make no mistake, I'm not talking about cursing at people. I'm not talking about shaming, insulting. I'm not talking about things like that. It's just like, that's a bad idea, or you haven't thought this through, or things like that. And a lot of times I'll use an analogy with it, or something to really get the point across where it paints a picture. And I'm sure there have been times where I've like cursed and yelled and things like that. I know I have, but that's not what I mean when I talk about being blunt. It's just really getting to the point. And in my estimation, and where I calculate what that is, it's efficient on some levels because it cuts out a lot of beating around the bush. It cuts out a lot of disingenuous rhetoric or trying to get around to the point of, just speak it how it is. Because a lot of times if somebody's coming to you with their own problems or they're asking you, then they've already maybe gone through a lot of these things in their head, and they say, hey, can you help me out? And that means you're a trusted source to them. So as a trusted source, do that. It's like going to a mechanic or a doctor or hairdresser, somebody who you trust, and you came to them with this question or with this problem. You would want their best answer or their best effort. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have an ace up your sleeve, advice, comment, experience, I'd love to hear it. And I hope this finds everybody in their best place or their pursuits of total health, mind, body, and soul. I'll see you guys soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.